Hey everyone, welcome to a special bonus episode of Locked On Lakers. Brian Kamenetzky, Andy Kamenetzky. LeBron James out for at least another 3 to 4 weeks. What's going on? We'll explain next.
You are Locked On Lakers, your daily Los Angeles Lakers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thanks to everybody for making Locked On Lakers first listen of every day, Monday through Friday, sometimes twice on Thursday. No matter how or where you get your podcasts, this one's always free, never behind paywall. Of course, Locked On Lakers on YouTube's where you can go hang out with over 36,000 subscribers to the channel, many of whom are watching this very broadcast live as we are interrupting your work day or whatever it is you're doing to bring you the news that LeBron James, he doesn't just have some nerve pain in his glute, Andy. He's going to miss the next 3 to 4 weeks. He'll be reevaluated in 3 to 4 weeks, meaning the actual absence will probably be longer. Sciatica is the diagnosis, which just tells me the writers aren't working very hard.
Well, first of all, I was at practice on Thursday. We'll have more from practice with our full-length show that we'll record later on today. But JJ did, in giving us updates on LeBron, Luka, etc., said that LeBron was, quote, on his own timeline. Dude wasn't kidding.
And he said he sounded really annoyed when he said it, which I think I have no idea how exactly they're related, but I guarantee you the tone of what JJ said, had it not been followed with this information of LeBron is going to be, can't even get evaluated. He's out for at least another 3 to 4 weeks. Without the additional context, it would have sounded just like JJ was annoyed that LeBron wasn't on the floor.
Right. And JJ was, again, we'll talk more about this in the full-length show, but JJ was very clearly not in the mood to talk. His entire post-practice media session was about a minute or less, which is very short for JJ. He is typically pretty good with answering questions, pretty detailed in the responses that he gives. Today, he was not in the mood to talk. We're starting to see more of a reason why, per Shams Charania. This diagnosis of sciatica will keep LeBron out 3 to 4 weeks. The sciatica, I just did a quick Google search, and the first thing that came up was from the Cleveland Clinic, which feels apropos. Sciatica is nerve pain from an injury or irritation in your sciatic nerve. In addition to pain, it can involve tingling or numbness in your back or butt that may radiate down your leg. More severe symptoms are possible, which I say this to demonstrate how this is obviously related to the glute nerve irritation that we were first hearing about with LeBron. Sciatica is either more specific, scarier sounding, or both.
Yeah, I mean, it is. That's an old person, Andy. I can tell you, kind of is what it is. Like I've had some issues with sciatica. It's not necessarily fun, and when it's really flares up, it's really painful. So like I said, like the notion of like the injury that keeps LeBron from starting the season on time, that it's sciatica and he's in his 40s, it just feels lazy. But I look at this and like the let's just say that the reevaluation comes at 3 weeks. It's going to take another, you got it in. He is cleared to play.
4 full weeks will have LeBron missing the first 9 games of the season.
Right. And that's what I'm getting towards. And like, if the evaluation period comes at the beginning of that 3 to 4 week period and he's cleared, because he has missed all this time with an injury, it's not like he broke his wrist where you can stay fit. You can do all there's only so much you can do while you are recovering from an injury like this. You have to add a week of fitness and all that kind of stuff. Practice, make sure there's no response. Practice, make sure so you're looking at a month. I think
that would be for anybody, much less a guy who's going to turn 41 in December.
Because what you really can't have is this, as much as possible, what you can't have, what you don't want to have. I mean, there is a limit as to how much control anybody has over it. But what you want to try to avoid is, taking the month off, rushing back, or doing it too quickly, and making this a recurring thing that kind of plagues LeBron throughout the season. So I think realistically for me, I look at this as like he's not going to play for 5 to 6 weeks. I think if it's faster than that, great. I think anything faster than a month is probably unrealistic. 5 weeks would be a nice return. And like you say, if it's that 4-week reevaluation is 9 games, you add another couple for any kind of rehab, you don't expect them to come right back. It's reasonable to project, to me, LeBron missing the first quarter of the season.
It's certainly possible. Again, not a given, but 9 games feels like an absolute given. And given the age,
well, 9 is just
that's what I'm saying.
Seems like the bare minimum. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm going to bet on the high side, given LeBron's age and the fact that all Laker injuries are on the high side. So I'm going to go with 4 weeks. 4 weeks is the first 9 games of the season. And if you start stretching into 4.5 weeks, you pretty quickly get into 10 or 11 games.
Right. But that, again, I just want to make sure people understand 4 weeks is the timeline. 3 to 4 weeks is a timeline to be reevaluated.
Right.
As opposed to expected to return to the court.
I'm just saying because I don't know exactly what the rehab for sciatica involves, how much you can get yourself to some degree ready in real time while rehabbing. While I think it is unlikely, I am not entirely ruling out the possibility of a relatively quick return after 4 weeks if that could happen. Again, I'm not banking on it. I'm just saying I think it would be irresponsible to say it can't happen. So there you have 9 games. In the meantime, though, this obviously puts a big time damper and a big time hindrance on the Lakers trying to get the most out of a training camp that has already felt like it's gone into the crapper progressively since media day. We'll get into more of this in the full show, but Luka was not a full participant in Thursday's practice, which wasn't described as a particularly intensive one, but he still wasn't doing everything in it.
That makes it more concerning to me if they're not doing. He went from full participant last week to non or semi participant this week.
Yeah,
so that's the trend.
Right. He is regressing, it would appear, in terms of his availability in health. Obviously, the Lakers have 4 preseason games next week. Some concerns might be assuaged if Luka is able to play on Sunday, but we will see. But the Lakers just feel like, especially when you look around the rest of the league and how many star players are playing for their teams in the preseason, it feels by any reasonable measure that the Lakers are behind where they should be and behind the rest of the league and behind the Western Conference. Doesn't mean that they can't at some point catch up. And, depending on what Luka looks like ultimately on opening day, Marcus Smart, for example, did practice in full today and said that he felt very good. So fingers crossed, Luka gets back by the beginning of the season and everyone else stays healthy. Maybe the Lakers can, keep the train on the tracks reasonably well until LeBron gets back. But they need LeBron to be the fullest version of themselves. And for the time being, that ain't going to be happening for a while.
It is not. And, it's certainly, you get from the tone of Redick today at practice. And obviously, if you're fan, you can find all this stuff. I think the Lakers posted, but Redick's time with the media is posted in any number of ways across socials. He was frustrated, clearly visibly frustrated with not being able to get Luka and LeBron on the floor. And obviously, I've been saying, there have been fans, and there are fans in the chat that I can see reading right now think this is LeBron, pitching a fit for not getting his contract extension and all these other things, which all of this is ridiculous. But the it was looking pretty clear to me that this was not a camp team LeBron just kind of not wanting to participate in the preseason very much, year 23, all that kind of stuff. It was much more of a can't do it rather than not really wanting to or just being super cautious. My concern now is with Luka that he's starting to become in the same, like I am sure, I would not be at all surprised. It's just, I can't say I'm sure, I haven't talked to them, but that Luka's team has a plan for him this preseason. They all got together, came to camp with a plan. I seriously doubt that plan was go hard the first week and take the second week off. Maybe it was, but I also feel like if it was, the Lakers wouldn't be particularly cryptic about it. I mean, I at some point
they have not been sharing details about what has been going on with Luka. I asked JJ point blank, did Luka scrimmage in full in the first week, like we were given the impression, and he said yes, which is great, but
that was to clarify the confusion from
DeAndre Ayton's comments.
Which again, we talked about this for Thursday or for Thursday's show. I think people, DeAndre Ayton was answering the question, I think literally, what's it like to work with those two guys on the floor? I don't know. I haven't done it because LeBron James hasn't played. So I think at some point, the Lakers are taking Friday off, or scheduled to take Friday off. They're scheduled to have sort of a light practice to prepare for Sunday's game. If Luka doesn't play on Sunday, if he doesn't play on Tuesday, if he doesn't practice on Saturday, there's at some point, some sort of explanation is required. I will say this: if the question is JJ taking the preseason seriously in terms of whatever, the answer is obviously yes, because his reaction to all of this stuff was not one that screamed to me, we, meaning I don't want Luka on the floor. I want him to take it easy. That is not the impression that I'm left with. This is to me, feels like Luka, for some reason, it is seen as smarter for him not to practice, and that makes me nervous.
Well, if nothing else, is a great way for LeBron to sell some Hennessy, because there's a lot of Laker fans right now who could use a drink. So kudos to the synergy there.
Cocktails that have both tequila and cognac. So maybe
as a former bartender, the name of that drink is disgusting.
I didn't say any of them looked good.
Those two liquors have no business being.
No, I did. That's why I was like, are there any that work together? And there are, but none of them sounded good.
Very, very competing.
Oh, I didn't. Again, I'm not recommending it. I'm just saying they exist.
No.
Anyway, we will be back with a full show for the YouTube viewers. You can catch that later in the evening. Potentially later in the evening. I think we're going to go live tonight, but I'm not totally sure. For the audio listeners, of course, the new audio episode drops at midnight every night. Locked On Lakers on YouTube is where you can go hang out with over 36,000 subscribers. But before we go, Andy, first this.
That Locked On Lakers is brought to you by Peloton, shaping the future of fitness with the brand new Peloton Cross Training Tread Plus, powered by Peloton IQ. It's their most advanced equipment yet, designed to give you real-time guidance in endless ways to move, whether running, lifting, cross-training, working out the sciatica, with your favorite instructors. Training reimagined. Peloton is built for breakthroughs with tools that help you plan, stay motivated, reach peak performance. The Peloton IQ system offers real-time strength coaching. It actually tracks your reps, suggests the right weights, corrects your form, and making sure every rep is safer and smarter. And the personalized class recommendations keep you engaged. They give you workouts that are tailored to your vibe and energy level each week. So let yourself run, lift, flex, and push forward. Explore the new Peloton Cross Training Tread Plus today at onepeloton.com.
Locked On Lakers is also brought to you by FanDuel. The NFL season is in full swing. FanDuel has an offer that you don't want to miss, because right now new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, Put down $5, and if it hits, you unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. So if you are like me, you like to sit down and watch a little football on Sundays, you can, you get a little more excitement perhaps when you get a little something riding on the results of those games, or even if you're just a casual fan. FanDuel makes the game day experience that much better. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com, download the FanDuel app today, and get started. We will see everyone later / tomorrow.